It's Betty time, and I'm on my second frap of the day, so third one of the day, but this one was free. This is my first time on the roof. Hey Hilton, what's up? Sponsor me. This is so cool. Although it's freezing, definitely should have worn my jacket. Hey, it's a CN Tower. It's like 2 a.m. But Bad Luck Betty made an appearance today, so I've got a lot to say. Why don't we start with my morning? I woke up around 8:30, a little bit late because I was totally intending on showering this morning, but I've been working a lot and I was really tired, so I woke up late. I got ready. I left the house by 9, started work at 10, but when I left the house, I was wearing my boots. I got halfway to the subway station and realized I only had my boots. I forgot to bring other footwear. And not only was I wearing boots, I was wearing like these giant red socks underneath of them. So, like, it was definitely not the nicest look I've ever pulled off. And I was working at the hotel later. I was like, oh no, I can't go buy a new pair of shoes. Because, like, who has money to just go buy a pair of shoes? I don't. I don't have that money because I bought 3 Starbucks today. No, I only bought 2. One was free. But that's besides the point. So I had to walk back to my apartment, I brought my flats and my sneakers just in case because I was like, you know what? Who knows what today's going to bring if I can't even leave the house without forgetting something. So I made it to work like 5 minutes ahead of time because I did stop at Starbucks. And then most of that day was okay. It went by pretty quickly because I'm used to like 7.5 shifts recently, and this was only just a 5-hour one. So it went by pretty quick. I was on cash, only got yelled at once by a man who I didn't have his size in lined pants because we don't carry the men's jeans. So we had the pants, but we only had a small selection, and I said we could order it, but he was like, I looked online and blah, blah, blah. Whatever. That's normal. I've got a whole other rant about how to be nice to retail workers, especially at Christmas time. And then I went to the hotel, and it was okay too. Nothing really particularly bad happened. I had a coworker there with me until 9, and then as soon as he left, that's when it went downhill. Now, I'm willing to be honest, a lot of this was my own personal fault, but I don't care. It still happened to me, and I'm still upset about it, so whatever. The first thing that happened was the boiler stopped working, which I was expecting to happen because it had happened a couple other times earlier, and the general manager showed me what to do, and we were all good, but I was hoping it wouldn't happen, but it did, so I reset it. Only had a couple people mention it, and all was fine. And then a guest came in, and he thought he booked a room with a desk, and they were planning on being there for 7 days, and he didn't book a room with a desk. And I checked online. I was like, no, you booked the room that you booked, and there's no desk in there. Obviously, I said it much nicer than that. And then he was like, okay, and whatever, we were going to figure it out. And then he called back later. He was one of the people that complained about the boilers. And then he also called to say that it sounded like there was a train going through his room every time the elevator went up and down. Literally, I've never heard that complaint before. And like maybe you can hear it, but there's no way it sounds like a train going through there. Like that's just crazy. But obviously I had to like think about it. I only had 2 rooms left, so I was like, okay, I can move your rooms for the night and then we can change you back to a loft after. He said no, he didn't even want to see the room. And then I was like, okay, like I don't know what he was expecting me to do. Like I can't shut down the elevator for the night. There's 7 floors. I'm not going to make guests go up and down the stairs. And I offered him earplugs. That was all I could do. And he said, okay, I'll talk to a manager in the morning and I'll call you if I need earplugs. So, crisis 1, done. After that happened, we have like third-party booking things. So one of them you have to put in manually, and I totally forgot. Like, this is all on me. So somebody booked through this third-party company, and I forgot that I had to do it manually. So I was looking for this reservation, could not find it. Eventually, we got it figured out. But by the time I did figure it out, somebody else had booked another room online. Like, I only had 2 rooms left, so somebody else booked 2 rooms. And I was like, oh no, I just sent this other person up to another room. And then luckily, the second person who checked in only really needed 1. They didn't need a second one. So, like, crisis averted there. But I realized after I had sent this other girl up with her reservation finished, like, basically done, I didn't have any more clean rooms. I only had 1 room left for this guy, but it was not clean. So I was like, I'm really sorry. Like it was my fault as well. I didn't pay enough attention. I should have seen that. But I very rarely have ever had this happen in the past, if I have at all. But I was like offering them another hotel. I'd cancel their reservation for free, like no charge. That's a pretty decent offer. And they were like, actually, we'll just wait here while you clean the room. I have worked in hospitality for 3.5 years. Never cleaned a room in my life. I'm not a housekeeper. I am not a perfectionist. I'm not good at being a housekeeper. That's why I've never tried. At this hotel, we do inspections, so like I know what it's supposed to look like, but I've never paid attention to how it was done. So I didn't really feel like I had a choice in the matter because I had already offered up all of the options that I had, but they were like not taking any. So I felt like, okay, I guess I have to go clean this room. Like, I've never cleaned a room. I told them that. I was like, I've never cleaned a room in my life. Like, it's not going to be up to hotel standards. And they were like, it's all right. Like, just give us the sheets and we'll go do it. And there's no way I'm going to let them do that. Like, that's crazy talk. So I was like, okay, I will go up, give me like 20 minutes to a half hour, and I will go get this room clean. So I went up and I cleaned this room top to bottom. I could not find a fitted sheet for the life of me. So I just like, I don't even know. I made do with what I had. And I'm sure whoever cleans it tomorrow is going to be like stunned. But I did the best I could. And I was there for an extra half hour still cleaning. And then once they finally went up, it was like 12:30 by the time they got up there into the room, because they showed up around like 11:45. And then I had to clean the room, obviously. And like, then they were like, can we have a robe? Can we have ice? And I was like, yes, sure, like whatever. And then I had to write all of this in an email so like I could explain my thought process, because I don't like just leaving without telling people what I did and why. So it was like a novel of an email for everybody to read. But I was just so upset. Like, that it didn't seem appreciative. Like, they just seemed like it was expected. Like, of course the front desk would clean the room. Like, I don't know. I don't like when I'm not appreciated. And I worked so hard cleaning that room. Like, I've always had an appreciation for housekeepers because I know I couldn't do it. But now I know I can't do it. And then there's more. So I finished work at like, I wrote down 12:30, but I was really like 12:45 to like 10 to 1 by the time I got out of there. And then the bag, I got some groceries. Excuse me, I'm very tired. I got some groceries on my break, and the bag basically like ripped open and my chocolate milk spilled everywhere. But like just enough that it was messy. And it got everything covered in chocolate milk. But I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna continue with my day. So I'm walking to the train station, and then there's all these like clubs, I guess, along the street that I work on. And there's these 2 guys following me. Not like following me, but like they were walking behind me going the same direction, talking about their favorite types of women. And one of them's like, I only like big girls. And I'm like, of course that's gonna make me uncomfortable. Like, they're literally like a foot behind me, like just walking in the same direction that I'm walking. And so I sped up a little bit faster and just like went on my way and ignored them, obviously. Like, I don't think they were talking about me or being creepy, but like, that's so uncomfortable, is it not? And then part 100 of the story. I got off the subway on the escalator up in the station that I get off at. And remember that bag that ripped a little bit and the chocolate milk spilled everywhere? The whole bottom fell out. So I had to put all my little groceries in the bag that had my boots in it and carry my boots. It was not a good day, let me just say that. So I have nobody to talk to at 2 a.m. to call and be like, I had a bad day. Because, I mean, it's Wednesday. Technically, it's Thursday now, but nobody wants to listen to me rant. But I want to listen to me rant. So this is just me listening to myself. Like, I love the hotel industry, but today was crazy. I feel like I'm probably even missing something. I don't know what, but I think I'm probably missing something. I'll think of it later. I'm going to bed now. Good night, Betty Buys.